We are living in a world that became even more global and ever more connected, whether through technologies, supply chains, the way we work and the way we live. In a new geopolitical and economic reality, there are planetary challenges responding to which surpasses the capacity of any one single country. We are stronger acting together with our closest partners. Moreover, climate-related disasters are taking their toll, and the most vulnerable people living in remote or in fragile environments are often the most affected. Food security, access to health care or protection are at risk, as well as stability, peace and security. This makes global solidarity and multilateral responses to multiple complex and cross-border emergencies more urgent and necessary than ever. The Paris Agreement remains a breakthrough in multilateralism and the global fight against climate change. It continues to be the best framework to drive ambitious and cooperative climate action, thus providing hope for all humanity. For more than a decade, we have worked side by side with our American partners to design and implement the Paris Agreement. We therefore regret the new US administration decision to withdraw from this Paris Agreement. The United States have a fundamental role to play in the global decarbonization effort. Hence, we should continue engaging with the US at the state level and at the private sector level, both of whom are driving the green transition in the US. The Paris Agreement has strong foundations, but we will now need to deploy all our efforts to ensure the rest of the world continues to support it, just like we did when the US withdrew 8 years ago. Our own climate resolve has not diminished, and we cannot afford to leave anyone behind. We remain committed to working with our international partners to address the pressing issues of climate change ahead of COP30. International cooperation remains our strongest ally for enhancing global climate action. We also have great concern over the US announcement to withdraw from the World Health Organization. Pandemics know no borders. Just a few years ago, the COVID-19 pandemic spread at a record speed, taking lives, damaging health, disrupting healthcare systems and economies. Effective international cooperation and multilateral action as a complement to national action are essential to protect the well-being and lives of our citizens, as well as the prosperity and stability of our societies and economies. In the face of global challenges, the World Health Organization remains a cornerstone of international health cooperation. The EU stands firmly behind the WHO and its vital work to address health crises, ensure global preparedness and protect the most vulnerable. Together, the European Union and its member states are already the largest financial contributor to the WHO. We will continue advocating for a strong and resilient WHO within the global multilateral system. We encourage all its members to work together to enhance global health, security for all, and address global health challenges through dialogue and cooperation. Finally, with the executive order to temporarily suspend all US foreign assistance program for 90 days pending reviews, the new administration is leaving aside a dramatic impact on aid projects all around the world. With regards to humanitarian assistance, the US Secretary of State Rubio extended the waiver to allow for the temporary continuation of life-saving humanitarian programs, including emergency food assistance, life-saving medicine, medical services, shelter, and similar. Albeit clarity to partners is often still lacking in terms of which concrete projects are considered life-saving. We believe that this approach will not benefit the US long-term interests. It can lead to worsening humanitarian crisis and poverty rates, increased instability, and other negative consequences. Negative both for the affected populations, communities, countries and regions, as well as for the rest of the international community, including for the US and the EU. This vacuum also opens the door for other, not like-minded actors to step in, those who may use this space to spread their influence and anti-Western narratives. We will continue following the US administration's decision closely and analyse their potential long-term impact. But I can already reassure you, the EU will not step back from its humanitarian and development commitments. As the biggest donor for development assistance in the world, the EU and its member states continue their efforts in addressing poverty and advancing global development. And our position as a major humanitarian donor also remains unchanged. Our aid will continue to save lives and alleviate suffering in line with the humanitarian principles of humanity, neutrality, impartiality and independence. For us, this is humanitarian imperative. Humanitarian action is a vital public good in the rules-based international system, and it is an investment in community resilience. But it is also clearly in our own interests and security interests, as we are well aware of the negative consequences that follow a lack of humanitarian and development action. However, as humanitarian crises grow in severity and scale, the call on the international community for collective action is more compelling than ever. This is true especially today as the humanitarian system already overstretched and underfunded. We should have no illusion of the budgetary constraints that we are all facing. The EU and its member states cannot simply fill the gap. Everyone in the international community must shoulder their responsibility in line with their economic standing. Honourable members, the executive orders and other measures adopted by President Trump on the first days of his mandate will have a serious impact on the whole multilateral system. These decisions pose a significant challenge to international cooperation, paramount in addressing the global challenges we are collectively facing, such as climate change, public health and security threats. We all know the multilateral system today is not perfect. We know that we need to reform it, and we are committed to do so. However, respect for the multilateral rules-based order is the only guarantee to global peace, security and prosperity. The EU will therefore remain a staunch supporter of multilateralism with the UN at its core, fostering partnership and rebuilding trust, and will continue to work with its partner around the world to this end. I thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to our exchange. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.